Hey Sagittarius. I hope y'all appreciate how I'm trying to make my readings prettier. And we have summer deco right here, Sag, because we are calling in the summer season, just everything getting warmer and seeing all of the seeds that we've planted start to grow. And I hope that tomorrow, which I believe it's tomorrow, summer solstice, you will get outside, you will feel the sun and spend some time in nature. Because I feel like if you do, you will be more likely to feel the energy, Sag. Open up to the summer. So this is the Litha summer solstice reading. It's a feel-good reading, Sag. It is. There's not going to be a huge revelation here, but maybe there will be. Maybe there will be, Sag. Because you are it's really interesting, right? Because I got you a summer solstice message. And also there's a little piece of magic you can do that I'm going to share with you from the Earthcraft. I love this deck. This deck I generally only use for personal readings because it is pure magic itself. If you've had a personal reading, especially a life reading, y'all already know it is I actually feel like it's the most beautiful deck I have. But let's get into it, Sag, because this is just for you to feel good about where you're going, okay? So light and the shift, you are shifting into light and shifting into, and I don't think it's been easy, but there's a shift into who you're supposed to be, who you're becoming, and also really not letting others determine that. And this is big, it really feels like, you may have been spending some time healing those energies, healing, who others expect you to be opposed to who you want to be, and it's definitely, look, it's so beautiful. It's like you're being cleansed, yeah. And so there is a shift coming. And, if you don't feel like you are enjoying this energy, you may be being called to. Look, no one gets to tell you who you are. Not a single soul gets to tell you who you are or who you're becoming. And sometimes it's really necessary for us to separate ourselves from that. It's so interesting how all of these detachment energies are coming up. But yeah, I feel like that can really be a thing, especially when we want to make other people happy. We want people to like us. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's definitely been, I feel like it's been the last year, a shift for Sagittarius, really, also paying more attention to themselves, right? And so, you are emerging a new you and definitely flowing into this feminine energy that we are going to see, and that is really valuing yourself. Yeah, I said what I said. So Sagittarius, congrats. And you may feel this shift, you may even it may be kind of like a reintroducing yourself to you, and I love this energy so much because now it is really going to be making you feel lighter, making you feel more joyful. And that is really why you need to feel the sun. The sun is a reminder of life. I'm always so jealous of those Leo rising people because they are literally led by the sun, but I don't think half the time that they get how powerful that is, right? like, I think, like, Venus rising people, like people with, Venus ruling their chart tends to feel luckier. But, I mean, to, like, to be the life source, you know? How amazing is that? And how to, like, the work involved here is wild winds. And so we are going to read from the book, because Wild Winds is about when you get out in nature, can you hear what the trees and the leaves are saying to you? Can you hear the whispers of nature? This is about synchronicities and, like, taking a walk, and there's I don't know if you've ever felt it, like, have you ever been out for a walk and how the branches and the leaves will actually reach out to touch you? And, color me woo woo, but it really happens. I remember the most powerful thing that really made me think was Wayne Dyer, when he said, you have to learn to see this space between the leaves. And it did something to me. I never saw nature the same way, and I remember, like, when I lived in PA, I spent a lot of time on the deck. I was really the only one, so it was kind of like an escape route, right? Because I was living with a lot of people at that time. And I just noticed how, it can really bring you to this sense of oneness and feeling connected, because this is going to sound weird, but I'm totally weird. I was sitting there and I was watching the trees. And it was really interesting to me the way the wind blew through the trees. It was like, it looked as if it was blowing through one at a time. And maybe there is some sort of scientific reason for that. But I actually felt like they were communicating with each other. And then I just sat and thought about how trees themselves and nature can teach us so much about coexisting. Like, when we're talking about the differences between people and how we're all connected, because that is oneness. We have to be able to see ourselves and others and be able to peacefully live together. And nothing shows you that more than nature. So the next time you're out there on a walk, think about what I said. Okay, think about what I said. So you may be receiving messages, Sag, to be quite honest with you. So let's read up about the wild winds, because they have a little all of these cards, and this might be a deck that you would be interested in purchasing yourself. It's called Earthcraft, because they all have rituals at the end for every single card. And you could be receiving clear messages out in nature. You might think you're crazy, but, it's just a time for you to just take it in. Take in what nature wants to tell you, what the synchronicities want to tell you. It is very magical. Like, there's so much magical energy because of the summer solstice with the full moon. So the Wild Winds jar spell. I love jar spells. And it's very simple. You get a jar. When you pull this card, or when there is a message you just can't comprehend, hold the jar in one hand, the lid in the other. Stand still outside in nature, preferably in a forest or a park with lots of trees. Say aloud, nature spirits speak into the wild winds, that which you have intended for me to know. Wait until you feel the wind blow and scoop the wind into the jar and close the lid. Place the jar beside your bed and ask the wild winds in the jar to enter your dreams and reveal the message. When your message is revealed, thank the winds and release them back to the earth. Is that beautiful? Oh, I just got a chill, y'all. That is beautiful. So let's get on with your reading. That was my TED Talk about nature. So what you need to give thanks to, wow, I feel so much about really getting out into the sun tomorrow, but the sun and justice is here. It's like all of the good things that and all of the joy that you have brought to others is going to be returned to you. Okay? And it's a time for you to really be thankful for the joy that you receive from others and even the fact that you can give joy to others or empowerment or enlightenment, because I believe that's Sagittarius. I really do. The magic you're supposed to make is very interesting because there is completion here with the Ten of Wands. And there is a sense that you are lightening up about things and you are learning different things to bring in completion, because we see the Page of Swords. This is like asking you to take a break from what's hard. Maybe, specifically if you feel overwhelmed with all you have to do, feeling overburdened by your obligations. There is some information coming in, and literally all you have to do is be there to receive it. Could be coming from a book or a person. It's just asking you to be present, and to, maybe even look for ways to lighten the burdens you feel in your life. It's not a time to be busy. It's a time to learn. So, yes, I love that energy for you. How to activate your inner light it's really funny, because with the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, it's literally telling you that there's nothing you need to do. You don't need, it's a time of giving to yourself. Maybe it's just a rest. Maybe it's that you don't do so much for others and allow for them to do for you, because we do see that it's very much being noted. It is going to return to you, and so maybe it's, in order to feel lighter, it's just calling for you to take a break, Sag. Take a break. You don't have to be the one who does everything. You don't have to be the one who gives all the time. And with the Four of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles, because we know, that can be about, work. I feel like some of this energy is telling you to take the day off. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you can take the day off, but, you can take the time to focus more on your own energy and less about, less about sharing it with everyone else. I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, it is a time for you to feel grateful and feel grateful that you can give to others and share your gifts with others and be there for others. You literally are the gift, but it's asking you to be a gift to yourself. Take a break. And definitely don't worry about things. Let what needs to come, let it come to you. You don't necessarily have to work to make it come to you. You could also be receiving gifts, Sag. These could be physical gifts. It could be money. It could be psychic gifts also. It could be just about anything. But let's see what Six of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. What's it all mean? Oh. Oh, Sagittarius. Okay, you are being rewarded. You are being rewarded. Wow. The Hierophant and the Fool. It's like there's so much here about your hard work is being, rewarded. There is a new, also, I feel like this is coming from somewhere else. I feel like you're being given an opportunity from somewhere else. And it might be weird, because it does seem as if the universe is saying, I'm ending this, or I'm blowing this up, to give you something else, to thrust you into purpose. Could be a partner. You could be getting, and this could be help from someone else. The King of Wands is here. It's a new vision for where you're going. What's the Fool about? The Fool for Sagittarius. The Fool. Oh, there's that King of Wands again. Feels like a new way, Sag. Yeah, it's so interesting. Because you're being rewarded with a new way of doing something. You may not have that much time to decide either. Because with the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords reversed, this is definitely, because the Ace of Swords reversed can be deception or not seeing the truth. You may feel as if this is too good to be true. Very interesting. I feel like whatever it is you're trying to do, you are receiving assistance. And this may be something that you were turned down for in the past. And you may question it. You may think that it's too good to be true because, you know, the saying, you can't get something for nothing. You literally are. It's a big change. Wow. A lot of Aries energy too. And how to keep shining bright is that if, you know, is to gain a perspective that if one thing doesn't work out, there's always something else right around the corner. If 3 things don't work out, because that's what we think about with the Four of Cups, there's still another way. And it's like, that's what you're flowing into. That is how to keep shining bright. Is to also, I mean, you may be seeing like disappointments differently and things that didn't work out. Like, you may really be shifting your mindset to seeing disappointments as opportunities. Wow. Wow, Sag. I love this. I hope it all makes sense to you. So we're going to get some final words from the fairies. Because I feel like I feel like part of it is that, you know, you give a lot to other people, and it's turning around and showing up for you. And then you start to question that, you know, because you kind of maybe have this thought process of, you know, these things don't happen to me, or, you know, this can't be true. But that focus is shifting, you know, and I feel like that might be coming in from spirit for you, that these things do happen, that, you know, the sun does shine through the window on the darkest day. I know that doesn't make sense, but what is it? One door closes and another one opens. That's it, Sag. So you may be surprised during this summer season. Remember, this isn't like one day. Okay, what's the message from the fairies? The message from the fairies. temptation. Okay. So, the fairies are saying you might need to take a look at your bad habits. Okay. Message from the fairies. See, fairies are mean like that. Everyone thinks that fairies are like this sweet energy. It's really not. If you pay attention to the lore. Friendship. I feel like this is true. I feel like it's like, wow, it's so funny how all these cards show up in the same energy. So they want you to really heed this energy in terms of, avoid the temptation to do for others. I know that sounds crazy, right? Specifically with friends, what it really is saying is that, be open. Because especially if you have a tendency towards overgiving, they're telling you to be open to being given to. Ultimately. And this is really tied in with manifestation, right? And this has to do with other people giving to you. So if you have this tendency to be like, no, I'll do it, or, let me do for you, let me do for you, let me do for you, it doesn't allow for receiving. And they want you to shift that tendency into receiving. Okay. And lights on the bottom. Like, it's that let people bring light to you. It's not always your job to bring light to everyone else. Wow. And I also feel, especially like the Hangman and the Four of Cups, like maybe you've been really disappointed in people. And maybe that is another person showing up for you. And maybe that's the change of mindset, allowing for that to happen. We can't just, it's like a two-part thing, right? We say we're going to stop being people pleasers. We're going to stop over giving. But are we open to receiving? Or are we just so stuck on the not giving? I feel like that's what it's telling you. Okay, Sagittarius. And also, don't stand in the way of people giving to you. Whether that's compliments or whatever it is, don't stand in the way of that. So, receive. So, happy solstice.